It's great to see Sean. Great. How are you doing, Sean?
Blessed, I'm very blessed, man.
Yeah, let's dive in a bit, so that the audience will get to know the scope of your business and the size of these kinds of contracts that you engage in. So tell us the largest project, both in terms of size and money that you have worked on.
Right. Well, the contract I'm working on presently is the biggest ever. It's a 9-story building in San Fernando, South Park, 72 apartments, and that is like figures range somewhere like close to 200 million.
Eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me. Don't get too excited. I'm just a part of the team that
Yeah.
but God have
Yeah, I know these projects are broken down into packages, so you may have a part of it and so
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
200 million.
yeah,
A huge,
Let's
yeah.
pray that you get for your own business a $200 million contract.
yes, that's right. We're declaring that as well.
But
Yeah,
let's also pray that God give me the wisdom to manage $200 million.
I like
Mm,
you. I like
yes. Oh,
you.
yes.
Yeah,
Mucho importante.
yeah.
Very
That.
important. Yes.
Yeah. I find that's a nice jumping off point because sometimes we beg for things and we don't have the capacity to handle it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Or the
excellent.
ability. Yes. So, Mr. Williams, we all know there is no business, no risk without failure. What failures have you experienced in the business that have rocked you to the core, that have perhaps transformed your thinking or maybe your approach in how you do things? And what are some of the lessons you have learned from failure?
Stumbling blocks. I like that topic this morning. Stumbling blocks. You see, I have learned in my Christian walk that everything work together for good. So I doesn't watch things as failure no more. I watching that God working it from a different angle. Uh, So I come to the understanding that yes, to some people it might look like it a little harsh how God dishing it out. But I take it with a little grace, I sprinkle it a little salt, and I'll be fine. But knowing that all things work together for good, for his purpose. I understand that there will be trying time because in the process of time he uses these stuff, these hiccups to really process
What,
us.
But
Sean,
could you?
yeah, that the stumbling blocks and the hiccups concretely and
Yeah.
practically in your business. We want to delve into it because it would help somebody who may be at a similar point as a contractor, as an entrepreneur. What are those specific stumbling blocks and failures? Well, you say you don't use the term failure, but hiccups that you described.
Yeah,
Right.
tell us exactly.
Yeah. Well, you see, sometimes you're into this scoop of work, and some this is being honest. It have sometimes you just don't know what to do, and you may approach it wrong, and you may have concurred this error. But I've learned something. Even when you do something wrong, there's a right way to come back to finish it. So you might start something and they might say something on the drawing, but when you watch it, it ain't making no sense whatsoever. They ain't seeing the end product with what they give you on this drawing. And because you have to obey the bosses, you'll go and do it that way. Or like what I do as well, go and tell them, hey, something not looking correct here. Something just not feeling right. So when you, as an individual, trusting God for everything, that is me. I just trust Him for everything. Even when that challenge comes, and you have to adhere to the person over you, because there is always somebody over us. You have to sometimes go out of the box, think out of the box, and say, hey, better go and discuss this before I go. Because at times you will do things and look stupid. You will look stupid doing the correct thing sometimes. And that sometimes is a kind of, as we just said, a stumbling block. Because you're so perfect in your ways, because you want to be perfect all the time, you end up incurring errors in your perfection. So you'll go to the boss and say, hey, watch, this wrong. Some way the engineer make a mistake. This and the maths ain't adding up in this. And you go say like, hey, do the thing just as you see the drawing. I say, okay, we're doing it at your risk now, not no longer my risk. So I will take myself out of the picture. And we will then proceed to do what this so-called drawing say to do. And then halfway through the doing it, they will realize, hey, what the man was saying is correct. So we had to go back. So time, remember, time is not ours. And these projectors be on stringent time, real strict timing. So when you make an error like that, not to you, but the drawing make that error, and you have to go and take back down all this thing to start all over. It does just kind of take you off your natural element, because you know starting to, like, these people, they know what they're doing. And they might second guess you, and you might second, and that does cause a big calamity on the job site, you know. So I just kind of
Let
trust
me
my.
jump in here, Sean, because sometimes the engineers may not be on site, and of course the engineers seem to be at the top of the pecking order in respect of construction, and they don't like to take advice from people who may be just a general building contractor. So you have this professional conflict. Tell us a little bit more, just using the same
Well, you
example.
see, with the conflict, the conversation with me does start like this. All book sense and no practical sense is no sense. Yeah, once you have all the book sense and you never actually put it into practice, you really know what you're doing. Because you on the drawing might say 2 parts concrete, 2 part water, 2 part this. And when you actually put 2 by 2 by 2, you end up making a mess of the concrete that is needed for this particular job. You know, so when we have this interaction, now I very humble to the bosses. I just humble. I don't know why but remember, I will tell you, I don't like too much authority. But through the process of time, God has kept me, and He kept me humble. So if we talking, I wouldn't try to override, because I feel, and people who feel, although I know, but I don't act like I feel, and know. So the conflict doesn't be so, what is the word I want to use? So heated. We just kind of resolve it before it reached to the point of that heated conflict. So yeah, it's just like you knowing what to stand for, and it has sometimes you just have to give in to certain things. So I just have that balance between when to make that firm stand and when to just
It's called tactfulness.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's something you need to have, and no matter what feel, it's something you need to have. Knowing when to stand for something, and knowing when to just have
Yeah.
your way.